and then it's going to expand to fill the hole. Hello, so a couple different updates, or I guess things that we're currently working on. Elijah brought home yesterday because we're working on getting the stove up and running. And so one of the things that we wanted to do is figure out what was the easiest way for us to get it up and running and getting it running quickly. Our gas lines in Terry are perfectly fine. We're going to keep the same stove that we have because it has an oven and we don't have to retrofit something else to fit in that area, which will be nice. And so Elijah went under and off to the side and under, and identified Terry's gas lines. And so we have 4 different gas lines that are on the outside bottom of Terry that run up to provide gas to different things in the camper. So we have one gas line that is for the stove. We have another gas line that was for the old fridge that we had. That one he pinched off in the inside when we swapped out the fridge. And then there is a gas line for the water heater. And then there's also one for the furnace. So the way that the gas line is set up, it's like a big long pipe that runs from the front to the back of Terry, and then it has like little tubes that sprout from that pipe going up into Terry's floor, and on the other side of the floor it connects to whatever device it goes to. So we don't need the fridge. So we wanted to make sure that since we're going to use the same line, that propane isn't just leaking into Terry, because that would not be good. So Elijah found a way that he can disconnect it from the outside to where it doesn't go into Terry whatsoever. So he's going to do that. And so he ended up picking up these little, I don't know what they're called. They're little brass fittings, but they're knobs. So what his plan is he's going to disconnect the tube that goes to the inside of Terry. They're these little brass knobs, and so they have like the little thing that screws on under there. So he's going to be able to disconnect the tube that's going from the gas pipe to Terry, and then he's going to cap the exit part of the tube using the little brass, knobs that are made to cap gas lines. And so he's going to cap the fridge line, so that will still allow the propane to flow through Terry like it's supposed to, and we don't have to worry about leakage going into Terry for like the uncapped fridge line, because it won't be connected whatsoever. So that is our plan. So goal is to get, I guess he'll probably come home and work on it today when he gets home. And then once we get that working, then we just have to go and pick up some propane so that we can attach it up to the front of Terry. We might have to get a new propane cover also, because the one that we have is cracked, but we'll attach it up to the front side of Terry, and then I can start cooking off of the actual stove. So far I've been doing my cooking. Originally I started doing my cooking on the little camping stove that we had. And then once we ran out of the little tiny bottles of propane, I was like, I don't want to buy any more because they're hard to dispose of. And so I've been pretty much using like the Instant Pot, the air fryers, stuff like that, electric type stuff, in order to, cook with. So once we get that propane set up, I can start cooking on the stove like normal. We can get all my pots and pans out of the container and get them brought in here so we can start cooking. And then hopefully we can get everything up and running so that we can enjoy a normal Thanksgiving meal, since this will be our first holiday. Well, I guess Halloween was our first holiday, but our first, real like food gathering holiday inside of Terry. So, and on the land, which is going to be excited because this will be the first of many, and each one will be different, I guess. And then once we get the outdoor play area situated, I want to grill, because growing up, my dad grilled pretty much all the time, and so he taught me all his tips and tricks on grilling and ribs and everything that you can put on the grill. So I'm excited to grill, and so I want to get a charcoal grill as soon as we get the play area done, so that we can, sit outside, because there's not a lot of bugs out right now, which is nice, but we can sit outside, hang out, the kids can be playing, we could be grilling, and then have a bunch of food. And if we can get the grill up and running, maybe I can even grill a turkey. So fingers crossed, or Cornish hen, something, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what can fit in the fridge. Previous years, we would buy a turkey from the store, and then we would season it, brine it, all that kind of stuff, and then we would wrap it up in cheesecloth, and then we would take it over to one of my old employees' houses, and she had a pit, and so they would put like 10 to 13 turkeys in the pit, and they would like pit roast them, I guess it's called, and oh, those turkeys came out so good. So eventually down the line, I think we're gonna put a pit somewhere on the land and start roasting some turkeys, because you have not had a turkey until you have had it roasted in the ground, and then you can roast like pigs in the ground, all that kind of stuff. So I gotta get the plans for how she made hers and see how, you know, where we can put it over here. But anyways, off topic. But so Elijah will probably take care of those when he gets home. And then also we ended up finally getting an IBC tote cover, because we use an IBC tote to go in whole water. We were going to get one of the black totes to transfer the whole water into, but I guess we don't really see a need to get that. We were going to get a 250-gallon one, but I figure we talked about it, and we were like, well, we might as well just go get another IBC tote, because it's the one that we have is 275 gallons, and it was super cheap. We found somebody in town who sells them for like a very good price. They're clean, they're great condition, and we figured that it would just be better to get a second one of those. So that's on the list for this week, for us to get a second IBC tote. Then we'll permanently stick it behind Terry, because I told him, you know, once we have the house built, we're going to end up getting one of the black, big, huge totes, you know, maybe like a 2,500 plus gallon, one or maybe two of them for the house. And so my initial idea was to take the 275-gallon black one that we were going to get and just move it over into the garden area and use that to feed the garden. But I was like, I could easily just do that with an IBC tote, and it's a lot cheaper. It's like $300 cheaper. So we ended up getting a cover for the IBC tote. So the permanent one that will sit behind Terry will have the cover on it, and then the other one will just load on and off the trailer. And let me tell you, the 275-gallon ones are heavy. I don't know if it's because they put I think maybe they put a plastic pallet on the bottom of it to help it protect it. I'll have to show it to you guys. And then it has the metal cage, and then the 275-gallon plastic pieces inside of it. And that thing is heavy, 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 heavy. So I think Elijah left the cover outside, because when he was coming in yesterday, he dropped it in the dirt and didn't want to bring it inside after he dropped it. So he just left it outside for me to grab and then just stick inside the container. So I will see you once we get out there. Okay, so this is the cover that we ended up getting off of Amazon. So this is our 275-gallon water tote that we're using for water, and then that over there is our pressurized water tank. And so eventually all this will move into the shed, because we have to put a shed on the side of the property since we're over here now, and since plans have changed. And I'm going to go ahead and get this open really quick. I'll get you guys set up, and then we will get this over the container. Okay, so this thing is supposed to have, oh, there's like a little roadrunner bird running around over here. Okay, so this one, so for now we're going to put it on this one, since this one is what is holding our actual water, and then eventually we'll move over to the other one, or maybe we'll just get a second one. And so it has this little flap up there so that we can fill it without having to take the whole cover off. It looks like it does have a zipper on the side, which would be nice. Let's go that way. Okay. Okay, so I'm assuming that that is correct. This is a little zipper, I guess. I wonder if it's supposed to be turned. I wonder if the zipper is supposed to be where the spout is. Yeah, I think so. Okay, so I went ahead and got the cover on. I ended up putting our bag of potatoes up there because I don't trust this one. It has like a little tie on it, and I feel like the tie, I don't know, I feel like the wind is just gonna take it. So yeah, that's what it looks like, but at least the water is covered. Okay, so I just got back from the store, and so I picked up everything else that we need to 100% finish the play area fence line. That includes all the boards, all the brackets, pretty much everything, and also the material so that I can build out the gate. So we got the latch and the hinges and everything. I think for now, goal is to have it done by tomorrow because it's a little bit too late in the day to get everything done, depending on how fast I move, but I don't think that's going to happen. But I'm going to start with putting the 2 posts in the ground. Those are the ones that are going against terry. So rather than do concrete, we figured it would be quicker to just grab these. I've seen people use these before, but they are post fix, and so like it's like a foam that you put in the hole, and then that's all you need. And then one of these is supposed to equal 2 bags of that, so it should fill the hole, hopefully, because we have one for each hole. Not using any more than that, so we'll see how that ends up working. I'm gonna head over to the other side of the property because our 2 fence posts that go up against terry are over there, and then this space behind me I still have to aug out. Well, Elijah still has to aug out the hole for that one, and that's the one that the gate is going to be hanging off of. So I'm going to go run across, grab those really quick, and then I'll be right back. And then also I had mentioned in another video that we had some pieces that were not a fit, so they were going to be 2 spare pieces, but I forgot that we have to build a gate. So I can use those posts to build a gate because those will end up being about 3 feet wide and then also about 3.5 to 4 feet high. So these would be perfect for the sides of the gate, and that will save us some wood, and then we'll have extra wood to do some other projects with. So I will be right back. Okay, so these 2 boards are one's left over from the rest of the posts that we had. They're a little bit in rough shape because they were just left lying on the property since, I guess, forever. So these are the ones that we're going to put up against terry because those ones you can't really see them. And so I'm going to go ahead and put the caps on them now really quick because we won't be able to get the caps on them once they're up against terry because we can't screw in from one of the sides. So I figured that we'll just get it done quickly. Okay, got that on. And this one I'm going to turn this way. Okay, that'll have to do. Just pour it. Yeah, because it's gonna. Yeah,
Can you move that board or not?
Yeah. Just don't get it on that board. Yeah, you're gonna pour the whole thing in there, and then it's gonna expand to fill the hole.
It's hot.
It's a chemical reaction. Oh, you see it expanding out?
Mm-hmm.
Make sure I still have. Okay, so we're gonna let this one continue expanding, and then we're gonna go do the other side. and then we'll show you what they both look like afterwards. Okay, so this is what the first post is looking like. And so it takes about 3 to 5 minutes for it to solidify, where you can just let it go. And so they just say to trim off all the extra. So it's pretty much at ground level. So I think we might just put dirt over it and then just call it a day. It did leave some gaps like around the actual post. So we'll have to see how that does, but this was an easier alternative than concrete, because if we need to cut Terry out for some reason, oh yeah, that's pretty much solidified. So yeah, that's the only thing I'm worried about, is that leaving. We'll probably have to fill that in with something else so that water doesn't pull into those, but it's pretty much, it reminds me of like packing foam, that expansive packing foam. But yeah, it's been probably like 6 or so minutes. Ooh. And let me see, this is still sticky. Okay, so this is the other one. This one is a lot higher than the one on the other side, so we'll definitely have to cut that one down. But same thing, it left like a little gap around the post, so we'll see how that ends up doing. We'll see if maybe we end up filling it with something. I don't know, we'll see. Okay, so now that those 2 posts are in, we only have 1 more post left to do. Elijah's finishing tamping in this corner one, and then we still have to aug out the other hole that's by the gate. But I think next I'm going to go ahead and run some string lines all the way around so I can get the second set of brackets in. Because I'll have to get them in for our bottom board, because we're going to do a bottom board like I said before. So I'm going to get some brackets out, get a string line ran, and then I'll be back.